Hey, how you doing? How's everything going? Alrighty. Let's do it. D4, knight F5, or F5, knight F3, and knight F6. Bishop F4 and D6. H3, G6, and then C3. This is more of a positional line. Okay. Bishop G7. Queen B3. Interesting move. This stops castling, but it also stops the advance on the queen side though. So white does have the ability for castling. E6 will stop that though. E6 will allow castling. D5 also allows castling with knight b2, knight d7, and g5. Interesting move. You could play e3 first and then knight g5. Either one after that move. E6 is more. I don't really like E6. I think E6 is too solid, but I mean I think it's going to be okay. I see the reason. D5 doesn't allow for later break on after like castles. See if they had D5 instead of E6, they lose the ability to break up the center. So that makes sense. So this holds for E5 to be played. So knight b2, knight c. This also allows this push here is for that. E3, queen e7, castle queenside, castle kingside. So now it's all out gung ho. But better would have been actually b6 because of the potential for fianchettoing and black being able to castle queenside. Yeah, I do. That is the idea about that, is so that you could, but in this line here, the B6 line, I believe that you could potentially. It's going to be a little hard now for white to get any counterplay because of you really don't know which side black's going to castle on. Black potentially, let's say we play bishop d3 here, bishop d7, b7, bishop b7. Let's say we bring our rook over, get any castles queen aside. Now he doesn't have the cave person attack that I like to call all out, all guns blazing. There is this opening thrust, but you could shut that down easily with that. So it's playable, but you know I think this asks a little too much for black though, especially with white being the first one to get the pawns rolling. So I don't know. I think castle at kingside was a little too optimistic. I would have fianchettoed and then castle queenside and tried to go more positional because of this weak diagonal here is going to be a problem for black the entire game. And Kazam, there goes. We don't really care about gambling a pawn. F takes H G. It's like so what? Now we got an open file, and then bishop G. This allows for a rook to H4 and then bishop to d3 attack. Pretty devastating. Knight d5, rook h4, knight to f3, bishop e2. See now all of white's pieces are flowing towards an attack. But if black had castled queen side, I believe that it would have kind of been a little harder for white to have gotten any counterplay. But I think he still would have been okay. I think it would have been an equal position at that point. But now this is when he black castle queen king side, it favors white in this line. And now you get to see why, because white's going to basically double up and go after the weak h7 pawn. So it's like, So knight, bishop bd7, and there's a lot of positional play that potentially knight can actually. No, knight can't come in yet. Look, I'm getting a little too excited about an attack. You have to build that first. This actually potentially could happen now. It looks kind of crazy, but yeah. Hey, how you doing, Frank? All right. So what we're gonna do here, this does allow for rook, potentially for rook f. Yeah, that is true. Rook f b8, and you'd win 2 pawns, and it'd just be a very unappealing position. So I would I don't think it's good for black to try to go for that line. He's down 2 pawns, and potentially another pawn would fall after that. Ugh, not good. Queen a6. We're up a whole pawn. We did clear on an open file for our for an attack, but now we don't really have to worry about pretty much too much of an attack for black. His main thrust b5 is gone, so rook cb1 cb8, queen a5. This takes scope at that target. c5 was actually a mistake. Rook b7 might actually be more of a playable idea. Knight g5, but this now if knight takes g5, queen takes g5, we got a pin across here, an attack here, an attack there. It's like, and then we even have an attack here. So, and this knight's good enough to come to b3 to protect. So queen f7 exclam, and then e4 exclam, and it's just all over at this point. If rook tries to double, then boom. And if knight takes, of course the queen falls, so this would be a double question mark losing move. So you can't, bishop takes. And this knight really holds tight for us. You know what? Now you get to see the power of the knights. And then queen there, and it's all over. Game over at this point. Game, set, match. c5. Still, the c5 has a idea of stopping the queen potentially from rising over to here after knight moves. D takes C, but this actually helps us. We take again. Rook takes, and then takes, and now we're threatening check. We have a knight now coming in, so we can actually bring our knight in now. We can bring a bishop in. We can bring another bishop in. We can bring a queen in. So everything's starting to fall apart for black here. It all, in my opinion, though, the decline of black's position fell apart when he castled kingside. I think he should have castled queenside and been okay with an equal positional game for a while, and then look for his opportunities to poke at white. But he didn't do that, and it's going to cost him the entire game. Here, you're going to get to see how white basically tramples black. Queen G6. Knight F5. All of black's ideas basically now are about holding the position together. Black doesn't have any counter play ideas. King F8, if you're thinking that, to kind of run to the queen side, it's too slow. Because then check, knight comes in, it's mate. Too slow. That opportunity has come and gone, as they would say. And so smack, and the bishop just says, you know what? If that's the only piece that's holding up the position, hey, take me, and kaboom, there goes a rook. Rook takes, and then wham, there goes a pawn, and this just is horrible. It was a Dutch defense that went wrong for black. A really bad Dutch defense that went bad. Rook takes. He's trying everything to get basically a shot at maybe a perpetual. See, if black was to take here, it's actually a mistake. It's a perpet, I believe. I believe it's perpetual. Let me see. I think so. Yeah. It's a perpet. You gotta say one thing, black was pretty ingenious about doing that. A lot of us would just grab the rook, but always ask yourself, why is my opponent giving me a rook? Always ask that question. It would be so sad. White is so winning here. 2 pawns up, totally crushing on the king side. Nothing that black can do. Ugh. Would really not like for that to happen. And he just puts the nail in the coffin. Knight G5, and what could black do now? What could white do? Here, this, and now it's all over. This is game, set, and match. He takes and he mates. Probably best idea at this point would be queen f6. Well, that still loses a bishop, because takes. So that still loses a bishop. But you're at least holding, but you're still gonna go down in flames. I want to see what the engine says is the best in this. Oh, king runs. The old, as Yazzer would say, the old classic move of king runs. That was funny. The old move of the king is run the king away. But so. And then he takes, and there, it's over. Okay. Let's see, are we all here? Are we ready? Are we ready, Erie? Ready, alright. Let's do it. let's see here. If king takes e6, so king takes e6, king c4, king takes f5. Oops, if we do king takes f5, then queen would check. Like, well, I guess we could do that. King takes f5. Let's see, b4, e6, b3, e7, b2, e8 equals queen, b1 equals queen check, and then the king could actually go king takes g4 at that point, and I think we have taken the whole entire house at that. Well, at that point, if king takes e6 and f4, we can actually just go king f6. We can go king f6 at that point, and then be really happy with our position, because I believe we queen then 2 moves quicker than our opponent does. So I know we first have to take here. Oh, we don't have to take? Bishop, why is bishop g3? Hold on, that's bishop g3? But why, I don't, let's see, takes f4, okay, g3, takes, oh, h2, ouch, did not see that. So this actually stops all that. Okay, king c4, king takes, b4, probably takes the, no, king f6, there. Drat. Sorry about that. That was my fault there. That's good. We'll get it back. Don't worry. Boy, that's an interesting endgame for sure on that one. Whoa. Okay, so let's see here. See, rook takes f3, king takes f3, rook f8, check, king, if king e2, because king g2 loses to queen g4 mate. So king e2, queen, oh no, actually I think, let me see, oh, that'd be mate, wouldn't it? Whoa. Hello. Wow. Okay. Rook takes f3. King takes f3. Rook f8. Check. If king close to mate almost. If king e2. Rook f f2 check, and then king would have to go to e1, and then rook takes c2. So we'd win the queen. So what do you think about that? That's what I'm thinking about right there. I think we win the queen in that line. I believe so. So we can't, let's say rook, let's get to this part here. Rook f8. Hold on, I just gotta make sure that I'm not missing any. Just gonna go, I'm gonna see what would happen if he, oh, he can't move. He could go king g3. How do we win there? King g3. Queen e3 check. King g2. Queen g. Oh no, if king g2, then queen to f3 check, and king oh, would he be able to escape at that point? I'm not sure at that point. He might be able to escape. Looking to see if is there anything better. Just see, check, see nothing there. If we try queen e5, knight e4, so that doesn't turn out the way we want it to. Do you have any other lines that are better? Do you see anything else that's better? Before we go with it, I'm just throwing it out there for you guys. Anything? Let's give it a go. Okay. Bishop g5 check. Okay. Excuse me. bishop g5 check. And if bishop f6, bishop takes f6 check, knight takes f6 check, queen takes f6 check, king e8, and queen takes h8. Let's give her holy ravioli. Oh. Huh. That's different. I want to see how this ends. I think it's, yeah, here. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Well, they probably went with our idea of winning a rook. That's okay. You know, I tell you, we won't make that mistake again. But we still got points, but we won't make that mistake again. We're gonna make sure that we are 100%. I thought for sure that wins because of a fork, but you gotta look for a mate. Let me see here. I'm looking at potentially B takes C4. What do you guys think? That forces the hand of black, because if B takes C4, if knight takes C4, rook takes F8 check. and rook takes f8. Bishop takes h6, and we picked up a bishop in that line. And if bishop takes, then we pick up a rook. So what do you guys think about b takes c4? Because what'll happen, b takes c4, if queen takes c4, or rook takes a7, c takes b5. Well, first of all, we probably would have to, after rook takes, we probably would have to play rook takes f8. Rook takes f8. I'm thinking about this check. Bishop takes f8, and then c takes b5. But I think that's an equal position at that point, though. Bishop takes. I don't understand that. That's peculiar. Let's take a look at this. Ow. Mate in one. Yikes. That's silly of me. That's losing. Yikes. Okay. So that threatens mate in one. So bishop c6, king there. So rook takes. Oops. Rook takes there. So so this is the only check that is possible after here. Queen takes, and after takes here, we have two passed pawns. So let's try one more time. Ouch. That's 14 points. How was it fun? Gotta find a way how to get a checkmate on g6, but allow it to be in 3 moves. Let me see here. trying to figure out where would be a proper knight maneuver that can get us there in let's see, knight h4, king h8. Oh, there it is. It's knight h4. Okay, knight h4, king h8, king f8, h7, and then knight g6, checkmate. Oh, no? No, that's not right. Okay. But wouldn't the other idea work too? Okay, because I oh, I get it. Okay. So you have to check here. Okay. Miscalculated that. Drat. I hate when I miscalculate that. Oh. 15 points. Let's get this in the fray. Let's see here. So king h7. What does this remind us of? Let's see here. What do you guys have for an idea here? This is kind of a interesting one for sure. That would work, wouldn't it, for a mating idea? What would be his continuation, though? Could he actually... Let's see. Queen takes f6. Check. King takes h6. Queen g8. If king h5. Queen could actually go h7 at that point. Check. King would go to g4. And then queen h4 is mate. Yeah. Or just simply moves the bishop. So what are so what you thinking then for move? I know if queen g8, bishop d8 there would be played. So maybe knight h4. Knight h4, king h5, queen takes g6, check, king takes h4, g3, check, king h3, and then queen h5, I believe might be mate there. Yeah. We'll work out it all the way to the end. There we go. Yeah, let's get into this now. Let's get some hefty points here. Well, I vaguely remember this too, so Well, we're just doing puzzles right now. Trying to figure out if there is some sort of sacrifice on h7 that could be played. I'm looking at also knight h6 or knight f6. Those are two interesting moves. There's even a potential bishop h6 is also playable too. What to do. Knight h6, check. G takes h6. What happens if G takes h6? Okay. Let's see, bishop, see knight h6, should take king h8. Trying to look for the most simplest mating patterns. I'm thinking might have to do something with knight f6 check maybe. Might have to be actually played in this line. I'm trying to see if rook takes, maybe rook takes h7 could be playable. Rook takes h7. There's something here. I got that feeling. Yeah, it is a little risky there, but if you don't risk, I remember what Levon says. You can't drink champagne. That was a quote that Levon Rodian said. So. I'm not sure if, let's see, knight h6, king h8. We could potentially go knight f6 at that point. That might work. I'm thinking the bishop move might actually work here because the other ones don't. See, bishop h6. Let's say a4. Bishop takes g7, a3, and then knight f6 mate. And if bishop h6, g takes h6, knight f6, check, king h8, and then rook takes h6. I think he wins the whole house with the bishop move, though. I agree with Erie on the bishop move. Yeah, I'm gonna. Good work, Erie. Good work, everyone. You know what? If you can't find the right one, look for a new move. That is good. You follow Erie. You followed the principle. I think it was Emmanuel Lasker who says if one move doesn't work, see if there's another better move. So nice following of the principles of the grandmasters of old. Um, hmm. I think it is. Let me see if Queen E8 check. If King I think it's Queen E8, yeah. There we go. Interesting here. Let's see. Let's see. Is boy, this is kind of a interesting puzzle because A takes B7, Rook B6. Oh, yeah, that'd work for sure. Yeah, let's go with it. Oh, snap. No? Is that not it? What do we want to do? What are we missing? Is this? Oh, okay. Oh, he's almost trapped. Oh, snap. Oh, sorry, my check. So I check first and then. Okay. All right. Oh boy, lovely. Another puzzle where we have to win the queen, or at least draw. Uh, our luck, huh? Let's see here. Let's first look and see if we have any knight maneuvers. Knight d5 check. King d6. Well, queen e5 stops all that. We have to somehow get our rook activated. I mean our knight activated, not our rook. Oh, I got it. If hey this will this I think this solves the problem with the rook idea economy. D4, pawn d4, and we win. Rook f8, e5, pawn d4. If he goes back to g7, we can play knight e6. Does that look right? C3 loses to a fork on d5. C3 loses to a fork on d5. I think the economy if queen d6, if queen d6, I think we have rook to rook f6 at that point. Rook f6, and I think we're actually Operation Go. There's no way anywhere he can go now at that point that knight e6 doesn't win the queen. Knight e6 check at that point wins the Q at that point. Well, still you're well, you were on you said you were on d6. Let's see. hold on, let me see. What am I missing here? Maybe okay, so you went to d7. So you want to go to d7. Hmm. Hmm. Well, maybe we can do a check then at that point. Let's see. Maybe it's d5 first. Could d5 actually be playable, or d4 be playable first? No, king d6 then. Yeah. I think king d6 at that point. I think if we went d4, king d6, and he's okay at that point, I think the king could just run. Oh no, wait a second. Rook, huh. I vaguely remember this. This reminds me of one we priorly did. Well, the problem with d4 and queen g8 is rook g5, rook g5, and that's a killer. Rook g5 destroys the queen at that point. It's over after that. Well, maybe. Maybe it's over. I may be overestimating it, that move. But I don't really see anything better than I don't see anything better really than rook to f8 though. Well, I guess there potentially could be rook. Huh. True. See rook f8. Queen e5. D. Knight. Rook. Bishop. Queen d6. Yeah, that does win, I believe. I think it does win. Excuse me one second. Swallowed wrong there. uh, yeah. And let's see here. So D4 bishop D. Yep. I believe that is right. Rook F6 here. Rook F6. Queen D7. Knight E6. And I have King B7. Hmm. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Then we check. The king comes up. We check. The queen takes. And then we check and we win. There we go. That was a good find there. Wow. Took a second there, but we found it. Good work, guys. Let's see here. Rook, excuse me. Rook takes A5 is interesting. Rook takes A5. I think that's what it might be. Oh wow, we thought at the same time. Nice. I really don't see. Maybe rook takes g2, king takes g2, queen check. You have to be careful of our bishop at that point. I think we're still okay, yeah. And we don't want to take with our king because of check. Up, check. We come over. Well, maybe. No, then he's got check and yeah. Well, king takes g2 with bishop. Well, I guess bishop couldn't check. Queen g5 check. Probably king then f king f1 at that point then probably, huh? They might check with g7 to give, well, then there wouldn't be any more checks. Well, actually, bishop f6, yeah, bishop f2 does have that. I really don't see any other, once we come back to f2, or f1 after he checks on queen g7 after we move king f1. He doesn't really have any more checks, so I'm gonna go with taking. Yeah, we'll just take there. That's a silly way to hold. The reason there was only 20% was people took with the bishop, and I'll show you why the bishop idea isn't the most accurate one, because it comes down to I'm thinking, I'm not sure if we win anything in that line. Hold on, let me take a look. Come on, upload for me. Yes, there we go. Takes, rook takes, bishop takes, bishop there, and then bishop takes, queen takes, and we have the two rooks. But I don't know if there's enough there, enough counterplay. This right here, though, this taking actually works. If he plays check here, we just go king g1, and we're basically winning at this point. Mate in 2, you just take at that point. He can't check here because of the rook, so it's all over. He has to give his queen up to at least go into a losing endgame. Let me see here. Rook a8 looks interesting, to say the least. Rook a8. Check. If king takes a8, then bishop takes h4, h4 check. And if d5, we'd love if they play d5, bishop takes d5, check, and we win the queen. But I doubt they'll do that. I think I'd play rook h8. If we played queen b6 check, queen b7, rook takes. Rook a8 check at that point. King takes a8, and then bishop takes e4, and we're winning. Well, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, we're winning because that's a pin. I believe so. I'm trying to think if that's let me see here. Bishop b6, queen b7, rook a8 check, king takes a8, bishop takes b4, rook d7. But then we could actually play bishop takes the queen at that point, and when rook takes queen, we can actually play queen takes d6 check, and then we save the rook. And I'm I'm thinking are we still okay in that line? Would that would be mate, wouldn't it? Because if the queen took, that would be checkmate, wouldn't it? Huh. Yeah, I'm thinking the rook check is the move that actually does it. Oh, don't tell me it's not. No, it's not that. Huh. Let me see. I gotta check some out. let's see here. 1 second. Oh, excuse me. Tickle. Uh, let's see. Do we have any checks that we could potentially use? Let's see. Knight, Queen D5 is interesting. There's Queen D5 check. King G7. Knight takes E5. Queen C1. King F2. Queen Queen takes C2. I don't like that. Ooh, that is true. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would be a bummer, wouldn't it? Well, then we have Queen B8, so we have Queen B8 check that would Queen B8 check, King G7. Not G, not probably F7, Queen F7. No, not King F7 wouldn't work there, because of Bishop E8 check. King King E7, huh? So Queen B8 check, King F7, Bishop E8 check, King E7. Probably Queen takes Queen takes. No, then the King would be able to take our. Well, we do have a knight, don't we? Because then we could. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah. There we go. Alrighty. Excuse me. Let's kick this up a notch. Let's amp it up. Let's see here. How do we win that bishop? Let's see, rook e7, queen d8. excuse me. I'm thinking that really rook e7 might be the only saving move for our rook. There is rook e5, but oh, you're right. Oh, that would not be fun. Yeah, you're right. Drat. That's interesting. Yeah, they're threatening mate, so we gotta find a quick move, a quick knockout. What? Let's see here. Excuse me. Let me see here. I remember this one vaguely. I remember this one. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. That is the move. That is the move. I remember that. I remember when you said that. For some reason, it triggered the right move. I remembered that that's how you pull it away. Nice work. One second. I need a drink of juice. Okay. Nope. It's not me. We actually pull it away by a check. You were right. Okay, dokie. Rook f2 is interesting. Let's see, rook f2. If rook takes a6, rook f7, check. And the king can't go to d8 because rook f8 is check. Or not f8, rook d is d8, 7. And then after the king goes to c8, we go e, and then we queen, basically. Yeah. Wait a second, is that mate if we play rook f8 up? No, that's not mate. He can run via f6. So the line goes rook d8, d7 check, king c8, e7, e7, king takes d7, and then queen is mate. Yeah, that's the... Oh no, really? No, Oh, wow. So takes here, check. It's all based on this protection here. A6 and then queen. Uh, here. Uh, That's okay. Hey, we're learning. Just gotta get these puzzles memorized properly. Let's see here. So, let's see. Rook takes G2, check. Let's see. Rook takes E2, check. There's E. The reason you can't do that is because of the E4 pawn push cuts everything off. There, it's not a windmill. Actually, it's not a 100% windmill where you can gobble everything up. That'd be really nice if it was. Let's see, Rook. I don't know. Please don't tell me it was this. For real. Wait a second. Can't the queen just block? That really does not make much sense, but I guess it's because of that. I think that's what they were looking at. That they might have enough material afterwards. So I guess it's a material count at that point. Yeah, it's more positional at this point. Material. Oh, okay. I think that if you take knight takes, I think it's all based now on positional play. We have 6 and he has our opponent has 3, so. And next our queen's going to come up and basically we're going to start trading off and we're just going to get a massive pawn onslaught. We just take it at that point. No. I dislike when we get those wrong. I think we have a perpetual. I think we got perpetual. Rook e1, king g2, rook e2, e2, check. Okay, b7, rook h8, rook c2, check, king b5, and rook c8. I believe that's the move. Let's see here. We got to make sure we keep open the check on C2. So I'm thinking, pretty sure it's king E3. King E3. So king E3, rook H3, check. Yeah. Oh, can he get in behind? Ah, wait a second. Hey, how you doing? Rook, oh, yeah. Yeah, let's see. See, king E3, rook H3, king E4, rook B3. Ooh, are we missing something here? Oh, I gotcha. Ah, I see what you're saying. Okay. Rook D1 after he takes, then we check on C1. He moves over. Check. Ah, we skewer the rook. Ah, we skewer the rook. I like that idea. I think we skewer the rook after that. After he gets rook to B3, you can actually skewer it rook D1. And if he takes on H2, H7, we can play rook B1 and the king, rook C1, king moves over, check, and we take it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that idea. Oh, king C2 and A. Okay, king C2, he moves over. Oh, then drat, drat. I missed that. That's an interesting puzzle for sure here. I was looking at this here. I think it's a draw. King C5. Okay. This is a king C3. And we take, king takes, and then queen, and we stop it. Okay. Ah, drat. Let's do it right. Let's do it right. I'm thinking on this one that it's queen C4, queen C4. That pins queen H3. queen h3, queen takes h3. 1 second. And if knight takes e7, check, knight takes e7, and g takes h3. I don't know if we really accomplish what we want out of that position. Let me see here. Queen c4, queen f7. Oh, we have knight b6. Check, and we pick up the queen. So, oops, knight b6, knight b6, check. Not v6, b6. And then if knight a5, knight b6, wins the queen, yeah. I think we win the... Do we win the bishop here? I think so. Yeah. And then we come back and grab the... So I'll show you. You take the bishop, then you grab the knight. Here, he goes here. Here, he comes up, and then you grab the... You could actually grab the knight if you wanted to. B takes C. And then just castles, and we're right as rain for some attack. I didn't know. So you you first come up, bishop here, he comes there, you take, the king comes up, and you could actually check if you wanted to. Here is an idea. King C and b6. Or d7. And then knight takes. If queen takes. Ah, nice bishop maneuver there. King c7. And then you can, I guess you could take if you wanted to at that point. And then castle queenside. Yeah, interesting play for sure. That's pretty interesting. Let's see, b6, queen takes a6, b7. I'm thinking that we go b6 here, and if yeah, if queen takes a6, b7, and there's really no way to, well, I guess there is a way to stop it. Knight d8, but that, I think we had just queen at that point, and then you'd take and we'd mate. So I guess you could try to stop it, but it would lose. Knight d7, and then we would go b8 equals queen check, and then I guess he could try to hold with knight f8 maybe, but I don't think he'd want to do that. Well, knight takes b. If he plays knight takes b8, knight takes b8 would be losing. because if he actually did, after we queen played knight takes b8, paste knight takes b8 check. Then we'd play queen takes b8, and that'd be mate. Yeah. Well, I guess I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess the rook could. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's not mate. Yeah, that would not be fun. Well, probably then we could. We probably could play. Yeah, I like this move here. Now queen e7 is a playable idea, I guess. Let me see. Huh. See, queen e7. Uh, queen a7. Queen d8 check, I guess, maybe, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna go queen e7. I really don't see anything wrong with that. No, oh really? No, queen e7. Huh? What did I? Oh. Oh, drat! You got in there just as my thing was. I was making. Yeah, that was right. You had the right idea. Yeah, that was okay. Let's get this. Let's get this back. Let's get back at it. I don't know, do we have enough time for mate though? Is it perpetual? I think it is mate. See, bishop b8, rook check, king c8, rook check. Yep, that's mate. Yep, everything's covered. Yep, that's mate. Nice work. We'll try one more and then I gotta log. Let me see here. Rook takes g7 check. King takes g7, bishop h7. If king f7 or f6, sorry. Queen g5 is mate. And worst comes to worst, we can always double up rooks. Yeah. No, I like that idea. I like your idea here of rook takes rook takes g7, king h8, rook takes h7, check, king takes h7, queen h3 check, king if he plays g6, rook g1 check, king that's right, did I g1 g6 king, okay, king f5. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Let's see here. I'm trying now to find out which queen check. Well, bishop h6. What if he goes king h8 though? That's the one thing I'm thinking about. What do we do at that point? Do we? Oh, we bring the queen involved. We get the queen involved at that point. Okay. I see. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I see that now. Yeah, well, that was it. Yeah, we'll work it all the way through, then I gotta log off. Wham. Takes, bishop there, here, bishop takes, king takes, queen g5, king h8, check, king here, check, bishop there, and then checkmate, yeah. Check, queen g3. King h8. And nothing. Oh, you're thinking queen g3 here. Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, in the first move. Gotcha. Okay. g6. Or takes g6. F takes g6. Bishop takes. Queen g7. And bishop takes rook. Rook takes rook. And h4. Yeah. This reminds me of a game that Nakamura and Duda played when Nakamura had like a huge advantage in the Blitz Kings Championship, or I forgot what the name. It's the Showdown Championship, and Duda got in F6, and that locked everything down. And no longer, and Nakamura was shaking his head the whole entire thing. He eventually lost because he was down in exchange and a pawn. But when it happens to the best of us, it was a miscalculation. I believe it was something to do with they both one castled on the opposite side of the board, and he actually had all of his rooks lined up. He was actually ahead in time. He had all of the moves prepared, and he had 2 minutes more than what he had before. And just a slight mistake of calculation can ruin a whole win for you. You can even lose. It's not fun. Okay, do you have any questions? Any questions on the puzzle? Any other questions? Nothing? No questions at all? It would be interesting to see one thing after the rook takes. They said the best is actually this move here. Then bishop f6. Bishop e4. Queen takes e4. Rook f c8. And then c3. And now we're able to go for the knockout. So it's a mate and 9 at that point. Alrighty. then I will say adieu. I wanted to thank you for all logging on, helping out. You know what? Life is about treasuring your victories and learning from your losses. You know what? We got to remember that, we were down, but now we're back up. And you have to remember that mistakes happen, but they don't define you. It is how you handle the mistake that defines you. And Bruce Lee said that there are no limits, there are plateaus, and you must not stay there, you must go beyond them. And I always remember what Bruce Lee said also. He has another one. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks. So not just one kick, it's many kicks. But, he says, I fear the man who has practiced one singular kick 10,000 times. Bruce Lee didn't fear the person who knew 10,000 different kicks. He says he feared the person who knew one type of a kick and did it 10,000 times precisely till he had it to the T. And we also have to remember what E. Nightingale said. We become what we think about. So whatever you think about, you actually become. If you have thoughts that you can't do it, you'll end up not being able to do it. If you have thoughts that you can do it, you'll be able to do it because your brilliance part of your mind, the part that really we don't tap into very often, hears that, and it will either participate or not participate by how we actually talk. It's very pliable. So yeah, and you know what? You have to be careful. I'm not into those, talk it and win it type of things. No, you do have to go in there with a positive mindset, and trust me, your brain does work better. But you do have to put in work too. So, it's like what Grandmaster Yasser Seirawan says. Every long journey begins with one small step. So that small step is us sitting down and studying. Yeah, you can't wish that like the fairy godmother, and that you're gonna be a talented star like Ding Loren, Nakamura, Fabiano, Caruana, and Magnus, and the rest of the greats. But there's a lot of names that I'm not naming. They're all great chess players. They had to put in their time. They had to put in their work, their sweat, as it is said that we have to put the sweat of our brow to our work. And in the end, it'll be all worthwhile when you sit down at the board and you see that when that position arises, you go, I know that. You play it. You either draw if you kind of were tired, didn't see a couple moves before, or you win. Either way, you're a winner because you saw the move. And we have to always remember, we hang up our coat, we hang up our hat, we sit down and study. When most won't, we do, and that makes all the difference. And remember, don't let the thorns in your life and tears in your life stop you from studying, because there are things that come up. Sometimes you don't feel good. Grab a book, do something, maybe whatever, just visualize or do something to get some chess puzzles in, or just maybe look at a game or on allychess.org, something to keep your mind going on chess. Don't miss a day. Trust me, you'll regret it. And just keep pushing forward, honoring the Lord, and doing what He wants you to do, using your talents for Him. And as Wesley So says, through the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening, and Lord willing, I'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll keep pushing forward, and always striving for greater things. Thank you again for participating, and if you like what you see, click follow and join us on our journey onward and upward in our tactics to learning and improving. Great job. Go Team Chess Cruncher. Hoorah. Be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.